Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Seasoned Vegan. Now, I told you that I had something else very, very delicious for you, and here it is. This is the second highlight to my Christmas dinner / desserts. These are cranberry bliss bars, but vegan style, obviously, because that's how we do it. That's how we do it. So look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Decadent and sweet, with a little tart bite from that cranberry and then the orange zest. So good, and it comes together pretty quickly, so I'm going to teach you how to make it in this video, okay? It's basically like two separate parts. It's the Blondie base and then the cream cheese frosting topped with all those goodies. So let's get into the ingredients, all right? This right here, these are all the ingredients for the Blondie base. We've got our flour and our baking powder and our salt in there. That like Pyrex dish back there. We've also got some melted butter, some brown sugar, vanilla extract. We're using applesauce today instead of an egg. And then obviously our toppings. So we've got our white chocolate chips. These are the mini ones. They're so good for baking. Our cranberries and our orange zest, which we will also be using in our cream cheese frosting. So here are the ingredients for that. We've got a ton of powdered sugar here. That's what's gonna make it so good. We have our cream cheese. This is the one that I got from Walmart. Same one that I used for my gingerbread loaf over here, which is nearly gone. And then more white chocolate chips. And these are the Enjoy Life brand. I don't know if I mentioned that, but my favorite brand for vegan chips. Let's get straight into this, you guys. I'm so excited. You're gonna love it. The first step is to mix together our melted butter and our brown sugar. We just want to basically mix this really, really well until it kind of looks like caramel. Once it looks like caramel, we are done, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, that's looking pretty good. Just make sure that you mash any of the brown sugar like clumps if there are any, and just get it really well incorporated. That's looking pretty good to me. All right, step number 2, we are going to add our applesauce, our vanilla, and our orange zest, and then we're going to mix it really well. You could also probably make a vegan flax egg, but I think that the applesauce just works really, really well with this Blondie recipe. That's basically what this is, the Blondie, the Blondie base. Yeah, so now we're just mixing. All right, that's looking great. Let's move on to step number 3, which is adding our dry ingredients. And we're just gonna mix everything together. And then this Blondie batter, it's kind of like thick. It's a very like thick and kind of hard batter. So if it's looking like, oh, this is way too thick, no, it's not. Trust me, it's what it's supposed to look like. So yeah, there you have it. Look at that. It's looking mighty, mighty delicious. All right, check that out. It's kind of like a peanut butter a bit. All right, well, that's done now, so we can move on to step number 4, which is adding in our white chocolate chips and our dried cranberries. And this just gives such a nice bite to the Blondie base. It really, really works well. I love this. Also, if you guys haven't realized yet, this is literally a vegan Starbucks copycat. Like, Starbucks has this, obviously it's not vegan. They have this, what is the word? Cranberry Bliss Bar. But it is not vegan. So if y'all have been missing that, my fellow vegans out there, well, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. My gift to you. I hope you thoroughly enjoy this. All right, so there is our Blondie base. That looks fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. So now we're going to take a 9x13 baking tray, and we're going to line it with some parchment paper and just go ahead and evenly spread out this Blondie mixture onto the tray and bake it. And that is it. So you do want to make sure that you get a very even, even spread out layer for this so that it all bakes evenly. So go ahead and use a spatula. That worked really, really well because it didn't stick to it, and it allowed me to get a very nice press. So that is that. Look at that tasty thing. Oh, I love you. I love you. So now you're just going to go ahead and put it into the oven And before I just guess what it is, let's just wait. I usually write it on the screen. There we go. At 350 for 15 minutes. Easy peasy. Easy, easy, easy. I always try and like guess and just tell you guys what. I try and like, not guess, but like I try to recall and remember what the baking time and temperature is, and I usually end up getting it wrong. I need to just start waiting and telling you guys the right thing to not be confusing. Anyway, ooh, look at that thing. It is dwindling as we speak, you guys. It is getting chowed down on. All right, so 15 minutes later, here are the blondies. The base, that is. And we are just going to let it cool for 15 minutes. We want it to be nice and cool before we put our cream cheese frosting on. So let's go ahead and get that whipped up now. I am using about 4 ounces of cream cheese for this frosting. Got my vanilla extract here. There goes my powdered sugar. This is basically the same thing that we made for our gingerbread loaf. Such a good frosting. And we're going to add in some soft butter to this. And we are just going to blend until it starts to come together. And this one's pretty fun because it starts to come together in an instant. You kind of think like, oh no, is it ruined? It's looking really crumbly. And then all of a sudden, those crumbles turn into goo. Watch this. It happens like right around here. It's so cool. It's getting very like soft. There we go. So yeah, just keep going until it looks nice and thick and creamy and soft, and then it will be ready. All right, guys, that's looking real good. Check this out. Silky, thick. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. There we go. Nice. It holds onto that spatula really well. Okay, guys, step number 9. Let's top this blondie with the frosting. Oh, guys, it looks so good. It looks so good. Just wait though. Wait until the very end. It's gonna look even better. You guys are gonna want to go and make this for yourself. By the way, this does create a really big batch. At the very end, I do cut them into triangles, and these things are decadent. They're rich, and I don't know about you, but I can only eat like 1 or 2 of them, and then it's like, okay, that's enough for me. So I went ahead and I put the leftovers that I had into the freezer, and I'm just gonna pull them out of the freezer when I want a treat. And yeah, very good. So that's what I'm trying to say. This creates a large amount, so you will have leftovers, or you could give them as gifts. Such a nice thing, like a Happy New Year's gift to somebody, or birthday gift, any type of gift, or I love you gift. These are awesome. So yeah, I'm just making sure that the frosting is spread out nice and evenly. And that's about it. Oh, you basically get to top it. So I'm going in with some dried cranberries and some orange zest, but you feel free to do whatever you want. You can make it your own or just copy mine. Just go ahead and distribute those cranberries as evenly as you can. I'm not very good at even distribution. It's kind of like, I don't know. I need to get better at that. It looks kind of clumpy in some places, but I did spend some time off camera kind of like making it look a little better and more even. So there we go. That looks a little better. Can't say the same for the orange zest, but you do your best. You do your best. All right, so I recommend, actually it's part of the recipe, it's not a recommendation. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put it in the fridge for 30 minutes, and that's gonna allow everything to set. And then after that, you can go ahead and start slicing it up. And slice it into whatever shape you want. I like the triangles that Starbucks does, so I'm just gonna copy them on that too. So there we go. I cut it in half, both directions, if that makes sense. And then in half again, and then diagonally. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to my brain. But there it is, y'all. That is Cranberry Bliss Bar, vegan style. That's how you do it. Look at that. And remember that Blondie Base has like dried cranberry and the white chocolate chips running through it. And it's just perfect. Also, highly recommend the mini white chocolate chips when you're going to get your ingredients for this one. I think that the mini chocolate chips just work really, really well. I think that the big ones would be too big of a bite, too big of a crunch in these thin little things, delicious things. Bars. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, that's it, guys. Look at how many I have. So yeah, I basically had like two for myself, 2 for my boyfriend, and then the rest, freeze them away. Also, if you guys are using these for a party, I highly recommend covering them with some type of, plastic wrap or some type of cover, whatever, and keeping them in the fridge until you're ready to serve them. That way they are absolutely perfect when they're served. You want them to be perfect. Perfect. All right, guys, so that's that. And then when you freeze them, just make sure that they're completely set before you like stack them in a Tupperware or anything like that. But yeah, that's it, you guys. There you have it, Cranberry Bliss Bars. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. You have a wonderful time doing whatever you are doing. Just remember, eat good food, listening to good music. Bye.